Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the award-winning Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guest will be Miss Denise Moses from the Jacob Ladder Job Center. How you doing there, Miss Moses?
Wonderful. How are you?
Great, great. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Gaston County. I live here now. My parents are ministers in Gastonia. I grew up there. I'm a graduate from Gardner-Webb University, and now I'm a student at Winthrop University. I'm a mother, a sister, an active church member in my church here in Charlotte.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You want to give a shout out to you?
I'd like to give a shout out to my church, which is Chappelle Memorial Baptist Church with the Dr. Norman E. Carey Jr., my pastor.
Hey, there she goes. Hey. Jacob Ladder Job Center. Tell us a little bit about that.
We are a nonprofit organization, which is a 4-week job readiness program. And what we do, we help the unemployed as well as the underemployed to get and keep living wage jobs.
How long has Jacob Ladder been in existence?
14 years. Yeah.
Why do you focus on the population considered hardest to employ?
Well, because we try to encourage people to let them know that there's help out there. When we started Jacob's Ladder, or when Jacob's Ladder was founded, the city of Charlotte came and asked our founder, which was Molly Dewey, to help out in the Piedmont Court area, which was a very high crime, low income housing project, which is no longer there. And so we've just kept that going. Our mission is just to help all people.
What are some of the critical barriers to employment?
I would have to say education would be a barrier. We see this every day. There's a generational of non-working citizens that have, I guess that you've seen it come through the family where the mother didn't work, the father didn't work, and so it goes on and on and on. Then you also have people with criminal backgrounds. They have a really hard time. We're very, very happy with our success rate as far as our hire rate. It's right at 75%, and that's really good. It is. It's really good because I know that the DOC's hire rate right now is like 18%. So I think that we're doing a real good job.
Okay, I know you mentioned individuals with a criminal background. How do you assist them? Because I know there's a lot of them feels like they can't get employment because of that.
That's exactly right. When they come in, we ask them about the criminal background, and they tell us what happened. We have clients that come to us that has just been released from prison, whether it's federal, whether it's state, or just local. And what we want them to do is not focus on what's happened to them in the past, but what are you doing now to become employed, whether it's education, whether it's a job readiness program. You need to change the partners that you run with. They've got to become rooted and grounded in something other than what they've been accustomed to doing. So that's how we kind of look at things, and I will tell you that our high rate in the criminal background aspect, we think it's really, really good because I know one gentleman this year was released from prison January, and he'd been locked up for 17 years. He came and just had the weight of the world on his shoulders because he knew that, he would never become employed. And not only now is he employed with a job, he has 2 jobs and was offered a 3rd job and had to quit that job because he could not take on 3 positions. So there is hope if they would just follow what we do. We have a very structured program, very structured. And we just ask them, just follow the steps. We know what we're doing, we care about you, and there is hope.
Okay, for that individual that you mentioned, as when he came back, what did he mention as some of the things that he used, some of the key things that he did in order to achieve these employment?
One of the things that he said that he had to do when he first came to our program was he had to stop being mad at everybody because it wasn't everybody's fault, and he came with a sort of a chip on his shoulder. Once he started feeling a little more relaxed and saw that he wasn't the only person there with a problem, he started getting involved with the classwork, doing participation, getting up, learning to speak, going into the mock interviewing. He learned how to dress professionally. He learned how to do many, many things that, our classroom is built up on a structured program. So when you follow what we say, you go step by step, and if you don't understand, just ask us. You will be successful. And he was employed before our 4 weeks program was up. Yeah.
And that's an awesome thing.
That is.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, I know you have to work a lot on their self-esteem.
A lot.
Why is that such a big factor in the individual achieving employment?
I'm going to have to say that the self-esteem in anybody, I don't care who it is, it can be beaten down. It gets low. Sometimes we feel like the weight of the world is just on us, and it's not. But when you, become involved with people that are strong, that are empowering you, then we have to start kind of like Humpty Dumpty. Fell off the wall. We put them back together again. And that's important because you need to feel good about you. We can teach you and talk to you all day, but until you start feeling good about you, then, our work is in vain. So that's where we start.
How about one of the barriers is child care? Why should we be looking for child care prior to, or is that a good idea, or?
I think it is a good idea because one of the things that we do teach is a plan A, there's a plan B, there's a plan C. Do you have a plan? A lot of times when they go looking for jobs and then they become employed, yeah, we understand, or employers understand that your child is going to be sick, but do you have anybody to take care of the child? So it's really important to know, if you've got to work overtime, can they depend on you? Or can you say, oh, I've got to go. I've got a child, I've got to go. Well, the employer wants you to go beyond the 100% mark. So that's important.
Do you network with other organizations?
Yes, we do.
Why is that so important to Jacob Ladder?
It's very important because Jacob's Ladder, first of all, we are a small nonprofit. There are other organizations out there. They do the same thing that we do. So when you look at that, that's a duplication in services. Instead of people going from our agency after 4 weeks to another job readiness, to another job readiness, we need to work together to get people employed, not bouncing from one agency to another. That's not helping the clients at all. Our number one goal is to help them become employed. So what we do at Jacob's Ladder, we work together with all the other nonprofit organizations that do the same thing that we do, trying to make Charlotte a better place, trying to make Charlotte an employable city, and where clients can come to us and say, wow, I really learned something and I'm ready to roll with this and I'm going to take it to the streets and I'm gone.
Chronic unemployment leads to a lot of personal things within our community. It destroys marriages.
Yeah, it does.
Why is it so important for an individual to go out there and seek employment in this day and age?
It's very important because, marriage to me is, I place that very high on my priority list. And I know that when we have our clients that come in, and I look at a male client that comes in that has a wife and a family that depends on them, it's really important because, one thing that my father said growing up, a man doesn't feel like a man when he's not able to put his hands in his pocket and feel a dollar. And when a man can't provide for his family, they don't know where they're going to stay, what they're going to eat, that makes them feel really, really bad because they are the provider. Right. It's very important. So, it's really important that we have people working especially I'm not going to say just men, but yeah, men, because they have so much that they have to hold on their shoulders. There are single women also that have as much responsibility, and we don't treat one more than the other. But with men, it's a little different. It is, because when you see a man become employed, you couldn't buy that anywhere.
Could it eventually lead to suicide?
It could, because, when you're unemployed, you really beat yourself up and you feel so lost. You feel like that you're not worth a lot. And, these things keep coming in your mind. That's why it's so important to stay connected with people that are going to empower you at all times, so that your mind doesn't go into the crevices of becoming depressed. So it's really important that we all encourage one another. Today might not be your day for employment, but it doesn't mean that your day's not coming. So it's up to Jacob's Ladder, the staff, which we encourage our clients every day. We want the best for them. We really want the best for them. So it's really important that we encourage everybody, because we don't want something to happen, to anyone, period. But we don't want it to happen, while they've become involved with Jacob's Ladder and just can't see a way out. We don't want that.
Can you walk us through the steps that it takes as far as coming in the door to Jacob Ladder?
Yes.
To eventually, graduating?
Yes, I will tell you that we have an orientation, that will be next Tuesday, December the 20th. It will be at 10 o'clock at the Jacob's Ladder Job Center on the plaza. And when you come in, then we go over the rules. We do some paperwork about the program. That just helps us speed up the process when you first, come for the first day of program. Now, the first day of our program is the first Monday of every month.
Okay.
Now, seeing as how that for January, the first Monday, we will be still closed for the holidays. We will begin classes on that Tuesday. When they come in the door, they'll come in and they'll do some paperwork. That's their assessment, that we need to see what barriers that they have, whether it's housing, whether it's transportation, whether it's clothing. They may need to see some people from DSS. We need to face the barriers first. And then after that, we go through a very, very structured 4-week program that the clients must follow. They must be committed to this our 4-week program. It starts at 9 o'clock. We expect you to be there at 9 o'clock in your seats and ready to start the day. It's over at 12. This is for 4 weeks. Okay. A lot of people that come, Paul, in our program, they don't make it the extent to the 4 weeks because they become employed. So they don't make it to graduation, and we like that. Correct. We want them to become employed. Yeah.
Once they become employed, do y'all keep up with them?
We do. We do. We try to keep up with them from 6 months to a year, where we try to make sure they're okay. Do they have things that they need? Going out there to getting a job, sometimes for people that's never been employed before, this can be very, very scary. A supervisor, a coworker may say something to you or to them that makes them angry, and they don't know how to respond to that. So we tell them, if this happens, don't walk out the door and just say, you know what, I don't have to take this. Call us. Take a break, cool down, call us, and let's talk through this thing. Because once they've walked out that door, correct, it's over. And there's someone else that's waiting in the shaft for your position. And then when you go home and you think that you've shown somebody something, and then you start thinking about light bill, cable bill, mortgage, car payment, and it's too late.
How about eating?
Eating. Too late.
It is.
Important, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, why is it so vital that people that come into your program